Is Dave Chappelle right or wrong? And whose frickin' side is he on anyway? Hey, can you get a little controversy with that?
Of course you can get controversy with that. Why wouldn't you be able to get controversy with that?
Hey guys, before I get into today's video, here's a shout out for this video's sponsor. When the shit hits the fan and the power goes out, one of the things you're going to need is an ultra bright flashlight and a power bank to charge your devices. This is the Indoor Outdoor Light Bug Work Light. It's got a solar panel to turn sunlight into storable, usable energy, or you can charge it with a regular wall outlet. The adjustable bracket allows you to hang it, hold it in your hand, or get the perfect light angle on a table. It comes in handy for car repair, fishing, hunting, and camping. And check this out. I fully charged this thing, turned it on, and left it on the counter, and it shined for over 5 hours. Grab a couple of them for family and friends. Your link is in the description. The reason I want to talk about this Dave Chappelle thing is because it's trending high on Twitter. A lot of people are talking about it. Yes, this is a distract, deceive, divide campaign, but we can extract some truth out of it. It says on Twitter, and this is from Variety Magazine, we're going to read some of that here in a second. Dave Chappelle addresses the closer controversy in new video. I'm not bending to anybody's demands. In a sense, you already have, Dave, because you're working for corporate media. You're working for Netflix. Netflix is corporate media. They're owned by Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, the same people who own major shares in corporate media and all these other corporations. But I want to show you what Dave Chappelle says, and I want to see if you agree with him. And then we're gonna play some of this Dave Chappelle video. Dave Chappelle willing to discuss quote the closer with trans community, but says he's not bending to anybody's demands. On one sense, I'm all for that. You can't be bending to the demands of other people. That's how you get yourself into trouble as a society. I don't understand why people are constantly going with the majority, because the majority is typically, historically, always wrong. Wrong doesn't cease to be wrong, by the way, just because the majority share in it, and right doesn't cease to be right because only one person supports it. It says Dave Chappelle has spoken out about the controversy over his Netflix special, The Closer, in a new stand-up video, saying that he's willing to meet with transgender Netflix employees and other members of the trans community, but won't bend to anybody's demands. In the video, Chappelle remained unapologetic about the special, which was accused of containing transphobic, homophobic remarks, which Dave Chappelle says he didn't mean. That people took it the wrong way. Besides that, he's a stand-up comic. Is Dave Chappelle and other comics not free to say whatever off-color things that might offend people? If you don't have the ability to offend somebody, if you're not free to say something offensive, then you are not free. Do you want freedom or do you not want freedom? Because if you want censorship and you want people silenced, then you want not only the tongues of the creators like Dave Chappelle cut off so that they cannot speak anymore, so that they get canceled. You're also requesting that you cut off the ears of the listeners who want to hear what Dave Chappelle has to say. It's a double-edged sword. Censorship not only affects the content creator, but the people who want to view what that creator puts out. And it is the first step to a tyrannical culture. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. What ends up happening is fields and fields of people who aren't alive anymore. Let's put it that way. It says contains transphobic and homophobic remarks and led to a walkout at Netflix, saying, and what a walkout it was. What was the maximum number of people that I saw was there? It's 24 to 48 people. That's a Netflix employs a lot more people than that, and not many people showed up for that. Even though mainstream media wanted you to think that it was a huge walkout, and we already talked about what one of those, the AP did, the Associated Press, trying to vilify and defame Vito, remember the photographer, who literally did nothing wrong, committed no violence, spoke no profanities, and we have it on video. We have video evidence. If you missed that, it's on one of my last videos on High Impact Flicks channel. It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees of Netflix, and I refused, says Dave Chappelle. That is not true. If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I'm confused about what we would be speaking about. Let me just show you in Dave's own words what he says here.
It's been said in the press that I was invited to speak to the transgender employees at Netflix, and I refuse. That is not true.
If it's true about what he said about mainstream press saying something that wasn't true, then that should tell everybody that if mainstream press is going to lie about this, if they're going to lie about what Sanjay Gupta lied about on the Joe Rogan podcast, that he was taking horse dewormer, and they continue to say it to this very day. CNN hasn't even modified their message at all, not even to put a good look on it. Not even to take the edge off of it. If what Dave Chappelle is saying is true here, then that should give everybody, at least at the very minimum, pause as to any credibility that fake stream, CIA infiltrated Operation Mockingbird, MK Ultra media might even have. There's zero credibility. We should already know that by now.
If they had invited me, I would have accepted it, although I am confused about what we're speaking about. I said what I said, and boy, I heard what you said. My God, how could I not? You said you want a safe working environment at Netflix. Well, it seems like I'm the only one that can't go to the office anymore.
That's no matter how you cut it, that is classic. You want a safe working environment, but you're basically going to bar me from the people who are employing me to do what I do. I'm a comic. I do comedy. You found it distasteful. You want to boycott me. You want to cancel me. It looks like the only people who are getting a safe working environment are you, because I'm pretty much excluded. This is where the popularity, there's this cult of personality. I'm sure Dave Chappelle, just like a whole lot of other famous people, have a cult following. This is where cults could clash. I doubt much of that will happen, or I doubt that anything substantive will come from this, because Dave's playing the game on the board as a pawn or as a rook or whatever the fake stream media wants him to play it as. But nevertheless, there is some truth to be extracted here.
I want everyone in this audience to know that even though the media frames this, that it's me versus that community, that is not what it is. Do not blame the LGBTQ community for any of this shit. This has nothing to do with them. It's about corporate interests and what I can say and what I cannot say.
It is. It is about that. And it's about the other thing that he just mentioned. It is about people being so distracted, deceived, divided, demoralized, dehumanized in their minds that they would actually call for a person to be canceled because they've been programmed. To some extent, we've all been programmed, and you cannot eliminate from that equation because it's such a vital part of the equation. And part of that equation gets you to the sum, and the sum is because we've all been psychologically operated on. Some of us, all of us, move in a particular direction because, as Edward Bernays, the father of propaganda or public relations, has said, hey, there are strings being pulled, and you don't even know the people behind the curtain that are modifying and wiring and manipulating even your tastes, what you want, where you go, what you buy. All that stuff's being influenced by the unseen government, Edward Bernays said.
For the record, and I need you to know this, everyone I know from that community has been nothing but loving and supporting. So I don't know what all this nonsense is about.
That's a good angle.
Summer 2020, when the whole world shut down, I was outside doing shows. My neighbor had a cornfield, and he let me throw shows there, and people came from all over the country. Some people came from around the world to see those shows. The best comedians on earth came to my home and broke bread with me, and we lived our lives. We found a way to keep moving forward. I made a whole documentary about it.
What did he just promote there? What did he just promote there? Just as a refresher, the reason we're covering this is because truth is the new hate speech, truth is treason in the empire of lies, and truth is the first casualty in any war, including the information war, and truth can be extracted from this, but there's a deceptive twist on this whole thing. Dave Chappelle and all these people are playing, they're part of this game. They're part of this psychological operation, and we need to understand it, because another interesting thing about this, and the reason I want to bring it out, is because people are like, oh yay, Dave's on our side. Dave's speaking out against the corporate oligarchy. No, he's not. No, he's not. This is a deeper, more powerful deception coming from Dave. And we have to realize that. Unless we realize that, we're going to get hoodwinked by all the deception that's about to, befall us, as though, truckloads haven't already fallen on us.
The first night of those shows was a piece that some of you might have seen. It was called 846. And it dealt with the murder of George Floyd. This film that I made was invited to every film festival in the United States, and some of those invitations I accepted.
This is interesting.
And when this controversy came out about the closer, they began disinviting me from these film festivals.
That's interesting. I'm not going to play any more of this. There's half of it, more than half of it's left. We're at 245 of 516. But the bottom line to this is truth does fear no scrutiny. It doesn't fear scrutiny. No matter where it comes from, no matter whose lips it falls from, truth is still the truth. He spoke some truth, but that doesn't mean he's on your side. Not everybody who speaks the truth is on your side. Look for the deception in it. It's pretty easy to find. It's pretty easy to see. He is endorsed by corporate media. He's doing what he's doing because of corporate media. He's in corporate media. And until we understand that, there ain't no way we're going to be able to slice through this deception. You think things are deceptive right now? They're going to get way more intensified. As a matter of fact, so many minds have been seasoned by the psychological operations, they're not even involving themselves in deception anymore. It's just outright blatant tyranny. Here, take it. That's why I say politics is the clever and deceptive art of using euphemisms, lies, emotionalism, fear-mongering in order to dupe average people into accepting and even demanding the change of their own enslavement. It's not enough for you to accept your own enslavement, your own oppression, the tyranny brought into your life. They want you to demand it. Demand it. That way you're culpable with them. Hey, you asked for it. We're here to just supply the service. So leave your thoughts on what you think Chappelle's part is in this, what he said, the deception he's also trying to propagate while he's speaking some truth. Because I have no doubt that this is the corporate oligarchy trying to make a power play, but in what way are they playing it? Is it the way Dave is presenting it? Is there more behind curtain number 3 that we need to be considering? Leave your thoughts.
Hey guys, we know with the way things have been going, it can get really interesting really quick. So make sure you and your family have a long-term storable food supply. Support the channel and get $50 off with my link in the description while you still can.